Police calling all cars. Attention all cars. Broadcast 18. A fire at 1517 East 1st Street. Damage $147,000. The fire department suspects a pyromaniac. All cars will cooperate with the Arson Bureau. Go get him, boys. That's all. Rosenberg.
The perfect performance of police cars, fire engines, ambulances, and motorcycles is vital to public safety. In Southern California and Arizona, more of this equipment depends on Rio Grande cracked gasoline than all other brands combined. This is the same gasoline that you can buy at any Rio Grande service station at the price of ordinary non-premium gasoline. Rio Grande cracked was one of the first gasolines to be offered the public containing tetraethyl at no additional cost. Since then, many other companies have been forced to follow suit. The word cracking is the name of a scientific process designed to give you a more powerful and more economical fuel. Rio Grande forces the crude oil into enormous spills, 100 feet high. And under terrific heat and pressure, the gasoline fractions are cracked into millions of atoms. This process is repeated again and again until the final product, the Rio Grande cracked gasoline you buy from your neighborhood dealer, is so concentrated that every drop is vital power. When you fill up with Rio Grande cracked gasoline with tetraethyl, you are getting a product that is abreast of the time, guaranteed to deliver to you motor power, speed, and dependability at no extra cost. Try a tankful tomorrow. Once more, it is our pleasure to introduce Chief James E. Davis of the Los Angeles Police Department. Chief Davis.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever stopped to think in the quiet of your home after putting down your newspaper, weary from reading the daily routine of news concerning fires and crimes against persons and property, what would happen if you had no police and fire departments? That is a thought with which to test your imagination. Particularly in these days when economic stress has tremendously increased the burden of these two indispensable functions of government. The protectors of your home, your property, and the lives of your family and yourself, the police and fire departments. The story we have to tell you tonight deals with the strange and little-known insanity of pyromaniacs, unfortunates whose peculiar brain quirks cause them to set fire to people's property just to see the sparks fly, and to see great flames leap heavenward in their mad desire to satiate their peculiar longings. Our arson squad, which works conjointly with the fire department, is constantly working on cases involving this strange mania. It is perhaps the most difficult type of detective work done by this squad because the persons who set fire for a profit or revenge do so deliberately, leaving many clues to their identity. The pyromaniac, on the other hand, has the cunning of madness and covers his criminal fire settings so carefully that only detectives trained in the investigation of arson cases is capable of tracking him down. I have chosen tonight's story to give the citizens of Los Angeles a vivid picture of how difficult it is to discover the operations of the pyromaniac. This story is a true one, and the characters in it are actual persons. And now, Frederick Lindsley will go on with the story.
In tonight's dramatization, we shall review the case of a Los Angeles pyromaniac, or firebug. whose lust for excitement destroyed $147,000 worth of property in a few days. It is September of 1924. Thomas McGee, a high official of the Southern California Edison Company, brings a young man of pleasant appearance to his home. He leaves the boy a moment as he goes to greet his wife.
Oh, Tom, you're home early this evening.
Hello, my dear. Well, I have a little surprise for you.
Surprise? What is it?
I've engaged a chauffeur for you. I think he's just the man we've been looking for. He's cultured and educated, and he's a handsome devil, too.
Oh, where is he?
He's down in the living room. Shall I have him come up?
Well, I'll send Marie. Marie? Down. There's a young man waiting in the living room. Will you show him up here?
Colorful background this chap has, too. He's the eldest son of the Flying Spinozas.
The Flying Spinoza?
Well, I can see that name doesn't register with you as it does with me. You know, my dear, when I was a boy, the Flying Spinozas were my idols, big-time trapeze artists. There just wasn't a first-rate circus without the Flying Spinozas.
Oh, I see.
Doris, this is Ed Spinoza. Ed, this is Mrs. McGee.
How do you do, Edward?
How do you do, Mrs. McGee?
I understand you're to be my driver.
Yes, madam.
Well, I hope you're careful, Edward. I've become very nervous with reckless driving.
Oh, I'll be careful, Mrs. McGee. I'll do my best to please you.
I'm certain you'll succeed.
And for a while, it seemed that Ed would succeed. He was diligent and courteous and performed his duties smoothly and unobtrusively. Some weeks later, Mr. McGee gave him a more responsible position, that of chief watchman at the Edison Company's garage at 1570 East First Street. He and the men under him are responsible for the hundreds of company cars stored there. Ed works with his usual quiet competence. Then, on the night of November the 12th, fire breaks out. Fire engines, chemical cars, and long, sleek ladder wagons fly screaming through the deserted streets. The red-licking demons of flame are feasting on gasoline and will not be subdued. The searing fingers of flame dart from car to car like fiends alive. Los Angeles stirs into sleep and wonders at the sirens and bells, screaming and clanging in the night as the third alarm brings out all equipment into action. Before the fire is finally subdued, the entire west wing of the huge garage, with all the automobiles it held, has been destroyed. Fire Chief Ennis and Captain Paul T. Wolf of the Arson Bureau confer in the smoking shell of the ruined wing.
Well, Wolf, what's the verdict?
Awesome. This fire was set deliberately.
How do you know?
Look at that wall. See that black burned streak? It leads up to the skylight.
Yeah?
And the first cars to burn started with the top.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Well, sure, it's a cinch. Someone poured gasoline from that skylight on top of the car. Someone that dripped down the wall there, made that streak where it burned.
Who did it?
Now, that's another question. I haven't had time for much investigation. All hands have been busy getting this thing under control. Ed Spinoza, the fellow in charge here, got some nasty burns. Not much left out here, is there, boys?
Well, Mr. McGee, we thought you'd gone home.
No, I've been trying to make a rough estimate of the damage. Looks as if it'll run about $60,000. Not so good. Mr. McGee, we're quite certain that this is a case of arson. More than that, the work of a pyromaniac. Well, what leads you to that conclusion, Captain? Well, when a person sets a fire for profit or revenge or any more or less normal motive, he goes to elaborate plans, timed fuses, candles, trading, gunpowder, and all that sort of thing. But he usually leaves a lot of evidence behind. But the pyromaniac just throws gasoline on something and lights it. It's so beautifully simple that it's much harder to catch him. I see.
What about the watchmen working here, Mr. McGee?
Well, they've both been here a long while, Chief, and they're loyal and dependable. What about Spinoza? He hasn't been here very long, but he was in my personal employ before he came here, and I can vouch for him. He's a good, clean-cut boy.
Well, let's get him over here.
Oh, Ed. Yes? Come here a minute. Okay. No, gentlemen, I can't believe that any of our boys would do this thing. The company treats its employees well, and the result is... Mr. McGee? Oh, just wanted to talk to you a minute, Ed. How the burn?
Oh, I got some pretty good blisters on my hands and arms, but I doused oil on them. They'll be all right.
Well, I'm glad it's no worse. Say, Ed, did you or either of your men go up on the roof tonight?
No, we never go up there.
Well, somebody set this fire, Ed. You got any idea who it could be?
No, I haven't. Except...
Except what?
Well, just a few days ago, I had a fight with a fellow. And he made a lot of threats.
Uh-huh. Who was the fellow?
I don't know his name. He's short and thick-set and has a beard like a Russian.
Well, where does he live?
Around the neighborhood someplace. I don't know just where.
Well, did you tell anybody about this fight?
Yes, I told old John, one of the watchmen.
Is he around?
Sure. Oh, John! Over! John will back me up.
Oh, we don't doubt your word, Ed. It's just sometimes a little detail slips.
You'll watch me?
Yes, John. Do you remember Ed telling you about a fight he got into a few days ago?
Well, yes, he said this fellow was sort of a Russian, and he made a lot of threats and such.
Well, I guess there's not much more we can do here tonight. Let's go home, Chief. Well, good night, Mr. McGee.
Good night. Good night, Ed.
Good night, Captain.
The very next night, the neighborhood again thrills to the charging fire engine. As a fire breaks out in the abandoned Big Four depot, used as a shelter by tramps and vagrants. Captain Wolf visits the scene of the fire and finds no evidence of arson. But he does find someone he knows assisting the firemen in fighting the flames.
Well, Ed, did you get enough fire and smoke last night?
Oh, hello, Captain. Well, you see, I heard the rumpus, and I thought I'd help put it out.
Oh, I see. Say, Ed, have you seen that Russian fellow around that you had the scrap with?
No.
Well, be sure to let me know if you hear from him.
And Ed Spinoza does hear from the mysterious Russian the very next night, November 14th, and immediately calls his employer.
I'll get it, Doris. Hello. Who? Oh, yes, Ed. What's the matter? I see. Well, I wouldn't make too much of it, Ed. Probably just some crank. Have your men keep an extra sharp watch, and don't worry. Oh, no, I don't mind. You did just the right thing to call me. Good night.
What is it, Tom?
Ed Spinoza had a threatening call down at the garage. Someone rang up and said, I failed the other night, but tonight...
Oh, Tom, you don't think...
I think that Ed is unduly excited. Ed is unduly excited. There are a lot of cranks around, you know. If he keeps a sharp watch, nothing will happen.
But Ed is not content with merely keeping a sharp watch. He makes another telephone call, this time to the police station.
Holbeck Police Station, Sergeant Downey speaking. Well, what time is it? Well, what did he say? Oh, I see. I'll send some men right over. Say, what's your name? Spinoza? All right, Mr. Spinoza. There'll be no fires tonight. Oh, Johnson.
Yes?
Take three of the boys and stake out that garage at 1517 East 1st, where they had that big fire the other night. Someone just rang up there and threatened to burn it again. Bring in any suspicious characters you'll find loitering around.
Okay.
The officers keep a close watch for hours and see nothing to arouse their suspicion. At 3:40 on the morning of November 15th, they return to the Hollenbeck station. Exactly 7 minutes later, at 3:47, fire breaks out in several places in the main wing of the Edison garage. Once again, the roaring, screaming engine speeds through the shadowed streets with men clinging to them like insects. One alarm. The main wing of the garage is doomed as hundreds of cars burn. Two alarms. More and more operators. More and more men are poured into East First Street to reinforce the gallant little band that is struggling against the crackling, glaring monster. 3 alarms! Now the fire engines are guided in their mad rush by the ominous red glare of the flames against the sky. Chief Ennis and Captain Wolf are accompanied by Detective Lieutenant Jack Gooding and George Price of the fire department. The center of the building is completely destroyed before the fire is subdued. It is a bewildered group that gathers in the office to review the situation.
Well, boys, about 87,000 in damages this time. $147,000 gone up in smoke in 2 days.
It's a lot, Mr. McGee. There will be more if we don't get the fellow that did it.
What about the phone call, Wolf?
I'm just coming to it, Chief. What time did you say it came, Ed?
12:15. I know because the alarm clock was right here.
Where was the watchman?
Well, you see, Lieutenant Gooding, ever since the fire the other night, I've been sending them back to the alley. 1 man on each side of the building. They flashed their lights to meet in the alley. Old John here and Mac were back there when the call came.
Oh, I should think they would hear a telephone bell ring from there. How about it, John? Did you hear a phone bill?
Captain Wolf, I did hear a bell ring, but I didn't know for sure it was a telephone.
Well, why not?
Oh, I don't know. It sounds kind of funny.
I don't get what you mean, John.
Well, it was like a telephone, and then again it wasn't.
Well, that's a help. Now, let's see, Ed. Which one of these phones did you say the call came on?
This one.
Oh, you must be mistaken there.
No, I'm sure, Mr. McGee.
Well, why do you think he was mistaken, Mr. McGee?
Well, you see, Captain Wolf, this is a private phone for outgoing calls only. So it couldn't have been this one.
Well, that's the one that came over just the same.
I've got an idea. Chief, would you and Mr. McGee and Spinoza step outside just a minute? Jack and I have something to take up with John here.
Oh, I ain't done nothing. Honest, I don't know nothing about it.
Now, don't get excited. Shut that door, will you, Jack?
Really, Captain, honest to God, I didn't...
Why, of course you didn't. I just want you to listen while I ring this alarm clock. Just wait till I get it set. Yeah. Now, there she is. Now. Is that anything like the bell you heard when the call came?
Well, yes, that's kind of like it.
Come on, Jack. We're going over to the telephone office.
Right over here, officer. The operator was quite upset by the occurrence, but I know she'll do all she can to help you. This is the young lady.
How do you do? We want to trace a call that was made on the private line into the office of the Edison Company garage.
Well, there was only one call there all night. A man called from that phone and wanted to trace a call he said came in there. He seemed mad or excited or something.
And what did you tell him?
Well, I just told him there hadn't been any call. I said he must be mistaken because the line was only for outgoing calls.
And then?
Oh, he said the most terrible things. I couldn't tell you the names he called me and the things he threatened to do. Why, it was awful.
I see. Well, thanks very much. Come on, Jack. Let's get back to the garage. I think we've got your man, Mr. McGee.
Who?
Spinoza.
It can't be, Captain. I tell you, that boy
I'm
is...
sorry, but it looks bad for him. I want you to send him on his rounds, just as though nothing had happened.
But why?
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. If he's innocent, okay. If not, he needs just a little more rope to do a first-class job of hanging himself.
All right. Oh, Ed. Yes, Mr. McGee? You better take your clock and make the rounds on the mezzanine and keep your eyes open. Okay. I still think you're mistaken.
Maybe I am, Mr. McGee. We'll see. That telephone call...
I know it doesn't look good, but there are lots of times...
Oh!
Wait, Ed! Ed, what's happened? What's happened there?
Come on, upstairs, boy.
Ed, are you hurt? What's happened up there? She's up there. He attacked me. He hit me with a blackjack. See? He jumped out of that closet.
Here. This one here? Here, let's see. That's about 3 feet wide and about 5 feet high. He'd have to be stooped over in a pretty cramped position, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I guess he was.
The floor's all covered up with shoes, too. He couldn't have been very comfortable.
Look, here's where he broke the railing when he threw me against it. And he broke the strap on my time clock.
Strong, wasn't he? Like an athlete.
Look where he hit me on the head. Right there. See that cut? Feel that bump.
I don't see. Why, of course you did, Jack. It's a bad one, too. The one that didn't knock you out, Ed.
Well, I keep in good shape.
I can take a lot of punishment. Yeah. Where can you escape to?
Well, there's only the stairs that Ed came down.
There's this tile ladder to the roof.
That's right. Some of the boys must be up there yet.
Well, let's take a look. Mr. McGee, you stay here with Ed and Price. Pete, I'd like you to come up top with Jack and me. Be careful getting off that ladder there. That's it. Now look, Jack. Flash your light down here. See? No footprints at all in the sand. Let's see if the boys saw anyone. Hey, boys! Hey, boys!
Yeah, coming. Oh, hello, Chief. Hello, Captain. Just checking up before we knock off. Have you seen anyone up here in the last few minutes? No, sir.
Well, let's see how he could have gotten down in case he came up and the boys didn't see him.
Well, there's a drain pipe over here.
Yeah, let's have a look at it. Here it is. Here, give me that flash. See? There's a mess of telephone wires right down below here. Anyone going down the drain pipe would have to cross them. He'd be bound to snag them and maybe break a few, and they're all in place.
You mean it's all a put-up job by Spinoza himself?
It looks that way.
Well, where's your proof?
Well, did you notice the steps going up to the mezzanine? There were only two sets of footprints, one going up and one coming down, and both Spinoza's.
And the man shouldn't help leaving prints with all that charred junk around here, huh?
Yeah, and then in the closet, the floor was covered with shoes, and none of them looked as though they'd been tramped on. That's why I stopped you when you said there was no wound on his head, Jack.
But there was no wound.
I know. We have to humor him. And after all, there was the broken rail on the strap. We'll go down now and see what happens.
Then did you find anything?
No, we couldn't have gone up there.
Then he must still be in the building.
It looks that way, doesn't it, Ed? You better keep it sharp watch.
Maybe I'd better make the round from the east wing.
That's the only one left, isn't it, Ed?
Yes, that's the only one left.
Well, give a yell if you run into trouble.
I will, Captain. Well, what's this you're going to do, Captain? I don't understand.
There's no time to explain now, Mr. McGee. It's either Ed or that Russian, and we've got to find out which one it is. Come on, Jack. We're going to follow him. Where'd he go? I can't see him. Someone behind that board in the middle there. You don't think he'd be crazy enough to wait? There goes the gasoline. Let's get in there before he lights it.
Oh, Captain. Lieutenant. Look what I found. Someone opened the petcock on this car, and there's gas all over the floor.
The game's up, Ed.
What do you mean?
Come on, Ed. What's the use of stalling? We know you did it.
Why, now listen, Captain. Just be logical. Look at these burns. They hurt. I got them fighting these fires. Would I light fires and then go and get burned fighting them? Now, would I?
Yes, Ed, you would. Come along.
In 3 days of constant questioning, Ed Spinoza stoutly maintained his innocence, in spite of the unbroken chain of evidence against him. Hour after hour, the questioning continued, without making any seeming headway. Then, for no apparent reason...
All right, boys. I guess we've been at this long enough. I did it. I set the fires. I'd have told you earlier, only that fellow there made me sore when he said he'd seen me in the gallery. I've never been mugged. And his bluffing like that made me think you didn't have anything on me.
But why did you set the fires, Ed? McGee was good to you. You had a good job.
Oh, you wouldn't understand.
I think we would, Ed.
You couldn't, unless you were born that way. I'm different from you, fellas.
Well, how do you mean?
Well, it's something that comes over you gradually. It's like having some crawling thing alive inside of you. The muscles of your stomach get all tight, and then it spreads to your chest till you can hardly breathe. Your face twitches and your throat's dry, and you're all tense and jumpy. And it feels like the muscles all over your body are tied up into hard knots. You think you're going to die, unless you can relax. But you can't relax without excitement. You've got to see an accident, or a bloody fight, or best of all, a fire. The funny thing about a fire, you watch it burn and crackle, and at the same time you feel as refreshed as though a cold, clear stream of water was pouring over you. You feel all calm and languid. And then you kind of realize what you've done, and you want to help put the thing out. But you know you're going to do it again, I'm going to do it again. Nothing can stop me from doing it again.
Edward Spinoza was committed to the state hospital for the insane at Norway. For 6 weeks, he was a model inmate and caused no trouble. Then one day, another inmate conceived a cruel joke in his warped and distorted mind.
The guards are gone. What's that you've been trying to tell me?
Ed, I heard them talking about you.
What did they say?
Oh, they were saying something about a new kind of operation. They were going to try out on you.
New kind of operation? What do you mean?
They do the same things to rabbits and guinea pigs and dogs sometimes. They got to try it out on somebody, and you're the guy.
Are you sure?
Sure, I am. I tell you.
Say, they can't do that to me. Operation? I'm not a rabbit. I'm not a guinea pig or a dog. I'm Ed Spinoza, the flying Spinoza. That's who I am. They can't do that to me. I'm going to get out of here. Right this minute. That's what I'm going to do. Let me out of here, you hear me?
Hey, what's going on here? Ed, for goodness sake, will you control yourself?
You can't operate on me. I'm not a guinea pig. Let me out of here.
Oh, listen. Nobody's going to operate on
Oh,
you,
get
Ed.
out of my way.
Oh, listen, Ed, you're all wrong.
I'll kill you, sir.
Come on, grab him. Hold each other on. Now, come on, Ed. Listen to us, will
I'm
you?
no rabbit. Let me out of here.
Who told you anything about an operation?
I was only fooling me.
Don't get a rabbit here, operation. Get a rabbit. I'm Ed Spinoza. I'm going to get out of here. You can't do this to me. You hear? You can't do this to me.
Edward Spinoza became so violent as a result of the cruel, insane jest that it was necessary to strap him to a bed in a barred cell. In the morning, he was gone. With his tremendous natural strength, augmented by the superhuman strength of the maniac, he had not only burst the straps which held him, but had pried the bars of the window apart. He has never been found or heard of since. Unless he has died in the intervening 10 years, he remains a constant and deadly menace to society. One regards the pyromaniac with pity. The diseased mind is not responsible for its impulses and actions. But one must also bear in mind that the pyromaniac presents a dreadful threat to both life and property. It is necessary for all law enforcement officers, as a part of their duty, to keep a constant surveillance over all persons, both adults and juveniles, known to have tendencies to set fires. As a result of this watchfulness, this community is now practically free of this menace. We would like to say in closing that most of the names used in these broadcasts are fictitious, although the cases are accurate in all essential details. Ladies and gentlemen, are you getting all the efficiency and power from your car that the manufacturer intended you should get? Modern motors are built to give you quick getaways, surging power, instant start. But they cannot deliver these advantages with inferior gasoline. Why not test your car? You'll quickly find out what it can do if you try a tank full of Rio Grande cracked gasoline with tetraethyl. This great motor fuel will bring out the best in an automobile. It has proved its ability by powering more police cars, fire engines, ambulances, and motorcycles operated by cities and counties in Southern California and Arizona than all other brands combined. If you want to know the truth about your car, Rio Grande cracked with tetraethyl will tell you whether you need repairs or a change in gasoline. And remember, Rio Grande cracked with tetraethyl costs no more. Next Wednesday at this same time, Chief Davis will bring you another authentic dramatization from the files of the Los Angeles Police Department. Tell your friends about this sensational broadcast, presented by Rio Grande, not only for your interest and pleasure, but also as a contribution in the interest of public safety and crime prevention.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars. Attention all cars. Cancellation of broadcast 18 regarding a pyromaniac. Suspect delivered to a psychopathic hospital. That's all. Rosenquist. Los Angeles Police calling all cars, attention all cars, broadcast 19. A young woman, a material witness in a federal case, mysteriously died of poisoning. Foul play suspected. Pick up what you can, boys. That's all. Rosenquist.
Ladies and gentlemen, do you get police car performance from the gasoline you are now using? If not, have you tried Rio Grande Cracked with tetraethyl? You don't have to take our word. Just consider the facts. More police cars, fire engines, motorcycles, and ambulances operated by cities and counties in Southern California and Arizona are powered with Rio Grande Cracked than all other brands combined. You can get this same gasoline at any independent station, flying the big banner with the word cracked upon it. Try a tankful today and learn what police car performance really means. For ideal results, try also the lower cost per mile lubrication, afforded by Sinclair, Pennsylvania, and Sinclair Opening Motor Oil. Sold only in extra measure, tamper-proof cans at no extra cost. Once more, we are honored to present Chief James E. Davis of the Los Angeles Police Department. Chief Davis.
Good evening, friends. The high efficiency of the law enforcement officers of this state is directly traceable to the fact that there is a maximum of cooperation between all police departments, sheriff's departments, and state police, together with a spirit of cooperation between them and federal law enforcement agents. We have attempted during these broadcasts to tell our listeners true stories concerning the work and activities of these law enforcement agencies, and more particularly the work of your police department. On rare occasions, because of public policy, it has been necessary to use fictitious names, but at all times the facts have been authentic and accurate. Tonight we bring you the story of a case involving the work of federal law enforcement officers, with whom the police department is at all times cooperating. In a highly civilized country such as ours, it has been possible for us to build up a system of law enforcement which has the power of the federal, state, county, and city governments back of it. All of these branches find it necessary each day to cooperate one with the other. As this story unfolds, you will see how important it is for all of these agencies to so cooperate. Professor Lindsley will now go on with the story.
Our story tonight goes back 10 years to the Atlantic seacoast for its opening chapter. Robert Sims, a teller in a Jersey City bank, has, for reasons known best to him, insinuated himself into the friendship of Frank Barton, a prominent young businessman and a depositor in Sims' bank. Barton, liking the young man, has invited him to a dance at the country club.
How come you're not dancing, Bobby?
Oh, I'm just saving enough energy to stand on my feet all day in that teller's cage at the bank tomorrow.
What's the matter? Aren't you enjoying yourself?
Sure I am, Frank. I'm having a swell time. It was awfully decent of you to ask me out here.
Not at all. We're friends, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
You're a real friend, and I want you to know how much I appreciate all you've done for me.
Now, nobody should be sure of friendship until they put it to a real test. You know the old saying, a friend must bear a friend's infirmity.
Yeah, I wonder if you'd still be my friend if you knew all my infirmities.
I'll take a chance on you anytime.
I wish I was sure.
What's that?
Oh, nothing.
Well, come on. Let's get another highball.
All right, let's do. Hey, Frank, look at that beautiful blonde just coming in.
Yeah, I see her.
Who is she?
Name's Mary Ross.
Do you know her?
Yes, certainly.
Hey, introduce me, will you? I'd like to know her well.
Oh, darling, I'm so sorry I'm late. I couldn't get away from the family any sooner. You're not angry, dear, are you?
Not at all, Mary.
I'll take my wraps in, and I'll be with you in just a few.
All right, darling.
Oh, that's why you didn't introduce me, eh? You old philanderer, Frank. You're a respectable married man.
Now, just a minute. This is different from what you think.
No, I understand all right, and I congratulate you. He certainly is gorgeous.
Hey, wait a minute, Bob. You don't understand. Now, listen. Let's step out here on the balcony for a moment. I'm going to face a confidence in you that I would never trust to another man.
As the cold moon pencils the shadows of the two men on the deserted balcony, fate spins the first mesh of a web, destined to entrap 3 souls, sending a woman to her death and 2 men to prison. For 15 minutes, Frank Barton seeks to explain his position to his friend, seeks to justify his actions to himself.
Hey, you've got to understand me, Bob. I was married when I was just a kid. You know, it is just puppy love, one other thing. And if it hadn't been for my little daughter, I'd have gotten a divorce years ago. As it was, I was more or less satisfied to let things slide along. That was before Mary came. Then I really got to know what love was.
Sure, Frank, that the $400,000 you told me Mary was going to inherit hasn't influenced you?
Not a bit. I'd love her if she were penniless. Say, I didn't expect you to say a thing like that.
Oh, now don't get excited, Frank. I believe you.
Thanks. I hope you would. Well, I trust I haven't bored you to death.
Why, of course not.
You know, they say that confession is good for the soul.
Yes, you bet it is. While we're on the subject of confessions, I've got one to make. I'm in a terrible hole at the bank.
What do you mean?
I mean that I stole $1,000 from you.
$1,000 from me? Why, what are you talking about?
Well, I needed money. I couldn't live on the measly pittance they call a salary. Well, I took $1,000. The bank examiners were coming, and I was desperate. So I drew $1,000 from your account to cover my deficit.
You mean that you embezzled bank funds and then covered it from my account?
Yes.
Why, then you're nothing but a common thief.
Yes, if you want to call me that. It makes us sort of equals, Frank. The only difference is that I stole money and you stole love. Well, why don't you say something? What are you going to do about it? 10 minutes ago, you were holding forth on friendship. You said you'd take a chance on me any old time. I'll pay the money back, every cent of it, if you only give me a chance.
Well, that's why you tried to build up a friendship between us.
Yes,
huh?
that's why. Because I thought you would be my friend. You've got to help me.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Meet me tomorrow night at Tony's, and we'll work out something.
You mean you won't tell the bank?
Well, I'm not promising anything now.
No, if you'll only help me this once, Frank, I'll do anything for you. Anything.
Hello, Tony.
Hello, Mr. Barton. I've been no see you for a long time.
Sit down here.
Sure, he's been here about 1 hour. He's to sit down there in the back of booth. He don't say nothing, he don't order nothing.
Okay, well, don't bother us for a few minutes, Tony. Important business.
All right, Mr. Barton. Call me if you need anything.
Okay, Tony. Hello, Bob.
Oh, hello. Gee, I didn't think you were coming. I was getting worried.
Move over. Bob, I don't think you need worry anymore.
What do you mean, Frank?
Well, we've both been skating on thin ice. Look here, Bob. The cancellation of that $1,000 means a lot to you, doesn't it?
All right, now it means everything.
Well, I've got a proposition to make, and I'm coming straight to the point. I can't go on with this life of hypocrisy any longer. I go home at night and I stare across the table at the face of a woman I don't love. I'm going to square up my business affairs, leave Mrs. Barton financially provided for, go to California, and later arrange a divorce and get married to the only woman I've ever loved.
You're going to leave Mary Ross here until you're divorced?
No, I'm not.
Well, but you can't take her with you.
I know that. You can't take a girl from one state to the other, even if you really love her, without running into the Mann Act. And boy, that's plenty bad. Mary and I have talked the whole thing over, and she's willing to follow my plan.
Well, I don't see where I fit into all this.
You're going to marry her.
Me marry her? Hey, what are you talking about?
You're going to marry her. Be her husband in name only. Then the three of us are going to California. And as soon as I can get my divorce, you will divorce Mary, and I'll marry her.
Why, Frank, you must be crazy.
Well, when a man loves a girl the way I love Mary, he is crazy. Nothing is going to stop
Yes,
me.
but I can't do a thing like that. Give up my position at the bank, my friend. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. Now, you'll have to get somebody else to be your
Are
catball.
you forgetting that $1,000, Bob?
You don't mean
Yes,
it.
exactly. You have the choice of marrying Mary and coming to California with us, or spending the winter in a cold, gray jail.
You win. I'll do it.
A few days later, the strangest triangle ever known to criminal history is completed. And Mr. and Mrs. Robert Sims, accompanied by Frank Barton, board a California-bound limousine. Arriving in Los Angeles, the trio rent a court bungalow large enough to accommodate the newlyweds and the family's friends. Barton, a go-getter, soon lands a job. And for several months, the arrangement works smoothly enough. During all this time, however, Sims has made no attempt to find work. And he gradually becomes more insistent in his demands for money, as Mary and Frank become more disgusted with his sponging.
I tell you, I've got to have $100 right now.
Now, listen, Bob, ever since you've been here in California, I've kept you supplied with a reasonable amount of money, and I provided you with a car, and I never asked you to do a day's work.
Well, I've tried to get work.
And now you ask me for another $100. 3 days ago, I gave you $75, and it went in rotten booze. I tell you, I'm fed up on the whole thing.
Listen, this time I won't use it on liquor. I'll promise you that. I met a swell little girl the other evening, and she's kind of up against it, and, well, I want to help her out.
Yes, I've met some of your girlfriends. And another thing, if you ever bring a bunch of rotten drunks into the house like you did last night, I'm going to beat you to a pulp.
Hey, listen, Mary is my wife to all your respectable friends. You seem to forget that you're only the lodger here.
Boy, you dirty rat. Quiet. Mary's coming. If you make any breaks in front of her, you're going to be sorry. Well, hello, Mary.
Hello, Frank. Hello, Bob. How do you feel?
Oh, not so hot, Mary. I've just been getting a moral lecture from Frank.
Well, I don't wonder, Bob.
Oh, I guess he's right, and I'm sorry. I'm going to lay off the liquor. I promise, really, I am.
Thanks, Bob. I'm sure you'll keep your word this time.
Sure I will. And say, Frank, how about that dough?
Okay, here's $20. Now, listen, we're having the Reeds over tonight for an evening at cards, and try and be here, will you? It's pretty hard to keep on explaining the absence of the alleged husband of our house all the time.
I'll be here. I'll be back about 8 o'clock.
$8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock comes and goes. The card game proceeds as Mary gallantly tries to pass off her husband's absence to her friends by explaining that he's going to change the office, by a big deal he is closing. Then, at 10:30...
Open the door, Frank.
Somebody must be in a terrible hurry.
Oh, maybe it's your husband, Mrs. Barton. Oh, yes. It must be Bob. Will you excuse me a moment? Heavens, what should we do?
Let me hand you.
Well, this is taking to a reform squad. And I've come home to play cards. I said I wasn't, I did.
You better go right to bed, Bob.
Oh, don't bother me. Oh, let me talk to my darling little wifey.
Leaving to me, Frank.
Oh, never come between man and wife. Say, that's a good one. Say, who are all these people? Introduce me.
Why, Bob, this is Mrs. Reed. You know, the lady with the 3 darling little boys.
Oh, sure, the mother of 19 children. Say, let's all have a drink. Let's drink to the mother of 19 children.
Mary, dear, we must be going. Come, George, I know Mr. Sims is tired. I'm so sorry, Mrs. Reed. Oh, now, dear, just don't you worry. These things will happen. Why, even my husband gave me trouble when we were first married. You've got to train them. Good night, dear. I'll phone you in the morning. Good night, Mrs. Reed. Good night, Mr. Reed. I'm so sorry.
What's the idea? So you're at it again, huh? Get in the bed. You can't order me around in my own house. Mary, go to your room. I'll take care of it. I'll do nothing of the kind, Mary. You're my wife, and I'll do the orders.
Please, Bob, for me. Will you go to bed? We'll have everybody in the whole court awake.
Come here, you little bronze devil. I'm sick of being a husband who's never even kissed by his legal wife. Here, I'm going to plant a nice big kiss on that lovely little mouth of yours.
Take your hands off her.
Not steal,
Take your hands off her.
Who says so?
I do.
You'll take a smack at me, will you? Well, that's just what I've been waiting for. Now I'm going to give you the thrashing I've been wanting to for months. And then when I'm through, I'll take over the duties of husband.
Los Angeles Police calling car 27, car 27 in 26th District. A disturbance at 7 and Primrose Street in the Allen's Court. That's all. Rosenquist.
Mr. Sims' apartment.
Well, that guy's always... Ah, they're a funny bunch, all right.
Here come the cops. They sure made good time, too.
All right. Get it, Gangway. Look at Jim. All right. Open up this door, will you? I'm doing it here, all right. Open up this door!
He's got a knife. He'll kill Frank.
Hey, what's coming off in there?
This drunken swine tried to insult this lady.
Is this woman your wife? She's not his wife. She's my wife, and he's sore because I tried to kiss her. You better drop that knife. Sure, I'll drop it, but this lousy bum isn't going to hang around my house anymore. It's just too bad when a man can't kiss his own wife just because the lodger objects. Well, come on, all of you.
What's the charge?
Well, we'll call it disturbing the peace. Things look kind of funny here to me. Maybe headquarters would want to do a little checking up on you, Bird.
Frightened by the serious situation into which her love for Frank Barton had led her, Mary Ross confessed the whole plot to the officers as questioned. The minor charge of disturbing the peace was dismissed, and Barton and Sims are held in the Los Angeles County Jail charged with conspiracy to defeat the federal statute and with violation of the Mann Act. Mary Ross is held under $500 bail as a material witness, and the preliminary hearing is set for 2 p.m. Thursday, March 12, 1925. Late Thursday morning, Sims and Barton secure the services of an attorney who hears their side of the story. When Mary Ross is led into the courtroom a few minutes before the hearing, the attorney for the defense immediately engages her in conversation.
You're Mrs. Sims?
Yes.
My name is Jackson. Your husband, Mr. Barton, retained me to defend him. And before the hearing begins, I'd like to know your status in the case.
Oh, Mr. Jackson, this is such a terrible thing. I'm so ashamed. Being in jail. I'll never live down the disgrace.
Yes, I can understand how you feel, and I sympathize with you deeply.
And I think I made a terrible mistake. I didn't know what to do when they arrested me. I'd never been arrested before.
Yes, I understand.
Well, those women down in the jail, they told me I'd done a terrible thing. They were horrid to me.
What did you do?
Well, when I was questioned by the officers, I told them the truth. I confessed everything.
What?
Yes. Now I realize I did the wrong thing.
Well, you certainly did. Tell me this. How are they holding you?
As a material witness.
Oh, only material witness, eh? What's the bond?
$500.
You realize, then, that you're expected to repeat your statements in court? But in any case, nothing will happen to you.
I realize all that, but I don't care about myself. I want to get Frank out of this. I love him so.
Now, look here, Mrs. Sims. You listen to me. I'm sure we can get him off.
Can we? How? Oh, I don't know what to do.
Will you agree to let me represent you?
Yes, if you can only get Frank off.
Very well. Now, I'll post bail for you just as soon as the hearing's over. Now, all you need to do is refuse to speak to anyone. Don't discuss this case with a soul. For everyone to meet. You see, if you don't testify, the prosecution has no case, and Barton will be released.
Very well, I promise.
Remember what I said? Here comes the prosecuting attorney now.
I beg your pardon, Mrs. Sims.
A couple of matters I wish to discuss with you.
This young lady is my client and been instructed not to talk to you or anyone else. You kindly make all communications with her through me.
Is that right, Mrs. Sims?
Yes.
Well, you can't do this. I promise not to prosecute you. All I want from you is a statement.
Mrs. Sims understands that, but I've advised her not to make any statement.
Why, you shite.
Now be careful what you say.
You've no right to.
So what? Take your principal witness? Sorry, old man.
Well, I'll object. I'll have you disbarred.
Quiet, the commission.
The United States government versus Frank Barton and Robert Sims.
Your Honor, I am appearing for the two defendants in this case, as well as the woman held as material witness. And as I was called in on this case only 2 hours ago, I'd like a little time to confer with my client.
You worked pretty fast in those 2 hours. I'm surprised you haven't prepared your case, too.
Your Honor, I am quite willing to proceed. Now, if the prosecuting attorney will stipulate whether the California statute, which does not permit a wife to testify against her husband, also holds good in federal court.
Is the prosecuting attorney familiar with the rule in such cases?
Your Honor, I do not see how this has any bearing on the case. The counsel for the defense has willfully diverted the course of justice in bribing...
I object, Your Honor. I've acted merely in my capacity as counsel for the defense.
Objection sustained.
I beg the court's pardon. Your Honor, I have not had precisely the same question arise before. If the court pleases to give me a little time,
Case continued until Monday at 10 a.m.
The defense attorney's neat point of law successfully ties up the proceedings. His next move is to go bond for Mary Ross. But when the bonding agent appears at the county jail, she is not there. Suspecting attempts to influence his witness, the attorney obtains a writ of habeas corpus from federal judge Paul J. McCormick. And by 10:30 that evening, Mary Ross is delivered into his hands. But the following Monday, at the Glendale Sanitarium, Mary Ross is found dead. Chester Allen of the homicide detail of the sheriff's office takes over the case. How did Mary Ross meet her death? Allen questions Barton and Sims, realizing that the inheritance of $400,000 which she was soon to receive might have been a motive for their interest in her death. Both men acquit themselves on this score. Painstaking investigations reveal that Mary had a slight cold sore on her lip when she and the attorney met Thursday evening. That the sore was worse on Friday when she appeared before the grand jury and refused to make a statement. That she went to the Glendale Sanitarium Saturday morning. That she talked to her attorney at the sanitarium Saturday afternoon and asked him to send east for her brother. That she made a will stipulating that Sims was to get none of her inheritance and that Barton and her brothers were to share it equally. The mystery ends in the grand jury's opinion that Mary Ross had died from an infection contracted through a cold sore on her lips, and the investigation stops until Mary's brother arrives in California. He is not content with the grand jury's verdict. He orders the body exhumed and an autopsy performed. The autopsy reveals that Mary Ross met her death from poisoning. Allen and his colleagues ponder this new development.
Now, here's the situation, boys. Barton and Sims are out of the question. This Sims is a rat, but he wouldn't have had the girl poisoned. He shouldn't have. He was in the county jail. Barton loves her too much. He's on the level.
Yeah, that's right. But she could have received the wound during that fight at the apartment.
Yes, she could have, but we've got no report that she was wounded in the fight.
Oh, that's right, we haven't.
Of course, he was in the tank at the county jail.
Yeah? Hey, wait a minute. Her attorney testified that she said that the women down there had treated her brutally.
Oh, he did? Well, now, there's an angle. You know what those names are.
Well, let's ask the matron about this.
Mrs. Sullivan, matron at the county jail, offers the officers every cooperation in their investigation. Painstakingly, they questioned the women who had contacted Mary during her 3 days in jail. After hours of interrogation, the officers have found nothing. They are questioning a shoplifter.
You were in the tank with Mrs. Sims.
Sure I was. What of it?
Did she act strangely?
Oh, no. She acted like any high-hat Jane does the first time she's in the posy.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, trying to rich everybody, like she was better than we was, the dirty little snitcher. She's got a lot to be proud of squealing on her own man.
We're not here to discuss jail ethics. Did she ever say that she was going to end her life?
No, she says when she got out, she was going to show Barton how sorry she was that she spilled her beans.
All right, take her away. Bring in Pearl Washington. Well, we didn't get very far with that one.
No, but maybe we'll have better luck with this colored girl.
You were with Mrs. Sims up until the time she was ill, weren't you?
So I was. But Dad won my choosing. She got what was coming to her that she was left with them stealing.
I wasn't asking for any...
Oh, but I've been in your mind.
Listen, what do you know about this poisoning? You're with her every minute.
I don't know nothing. And if I did, I ain't telling no dick.
Oh, yes, you are. First thing you know, you're going to be pulled in on a murder charge.
Murder charge? I didn't have nothing to do with that there poison.
And who did?
Nobody, as I know. It just happened, that's all.
Oh, we know it happened all right. I think we'll book you if you don't tell us what you know.
No, they book me for murder. Look here, I'm a respectable pickpocket. I ain't no murderer.
Well, let's have the truth then.
Well, the day before court, that girl asked us for some lipstick. And nobody give her none. The old snitch, then one-eyed Maggie, she takes a sock at her. Lordy, what a lamb when she gives that blonde girl.
You mean Mrs. Sims and Maggie got into a fight?
Yeah, then the matron come and she spoiled everything. She put some ointment on the blonde girl's lips where it got spread.
Well, what's all this got to do with her getting poisoned?
Wait a minute, big boy, wait a minute. I was coming to that. She wanted lipstick so she could look nice for her fella down the coast. Well, after all the row cleared up, nobody give her none, see? So she picked up one of them artificial roses that we make out of a red paper. And she wets it, and she rubs the red on her lips to take her lipstick.
Well?
Any fool knows that the dye and the red paper and poison.
She didn't swallow any of it, did she?
No, sir, but I've got to figure out that some of that dye in the paper, you know, of those roses that we make, got in the store, and she had it on her lips.
Working backwards, the investigators discovered that the poison in the dye used in the red flowers is the same as the poison that caused the death of Mary Ross. So the death of the love-trapped girl could be blamed on no one. Could be blamed only on her great love for Barton, for whom she threw away social position, respect, and everything. But there still remains to be told the disposition of the plotters of this bizarre case. Sims, after much bargaining, turned state evidence and assists investigators in acquiring sufficient evidence to convict Barton. Sims chortles to himself as the jury files back into the courtroom after having been out for 20 minutes. He anticipates the life he will lead on the $400,000 he will inherit from his legal, if not actual, wife.
Have you reached the verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
Read the verdict.
We find the defendant, Frank Barton, guilty of conspiracy to defeat the federal statute and a violation of the Mann Act.
Well, I guess that lets me out. I guess I'm not so dumb turning state's evidence. Tough on poor Frank, but I sure saved my neck. Well, so long, attorney, for the defense.
You seen that man?
Well, what for, Your Honor? I've committed no crime. I married the girl in name only. I've done nothing.
I understand that. Married the girl in name only. She was never really your wife. You testified to that in this courtroom. Therefore, you are an accessory to the crime. You helped the defendant here in an effort to evade the Mann Act. I also understand that you have made private statements regarding your anticipation of sharing in the inheritance of your late wife, in name only. May I point out to you that if the jury which tried your case tomorrow finds you guilty, you will also automatically give up all claims to the estate of your late legal wife.
Sims went on trial and was found guilty. In view of his turning state's evidence, the court sentenced him to but 2 years in Leavenworth Penitentiary, while Barton received 2.5 years. This case is an interesting example of the interrelations between the federal, county, and municipal police organizations, and points once more the eternal moral which should be graven in the minds of every youth in the land. The old time-worn but everlastingly true maxim, crime does not pay, be it murder, robbery, forgery, or only a violation of a city ordinance. You cannot beat the law. Crime does not pay.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are too modest in your claims for Rio Grande cracked gasoline with tetraethyl, an enthusiastic motorist writes us. That is a policy of Rio Grande, to tell you only the facts about cracked gasoline. That is why we just remind you that the cracking process produces a gasoline that averages 10 points higher in natural anti-knock qualities than gasolines which are not cracked. But cracked was a forerunner in adding tetraethyl lead. These statements would mean very little if it were not for this proof of the superior acceptance of Rio Grande cracked. Here it is. More police cars, fire engines, motorcycles, and ambulances operated by cities and counties in Southern California and Arizona are powered with Rio Grande cracked with tetraethyl than all other brands combined. Try Rio Grande cracked for 30 days. Make every test. If you are like thousands of other motorists, you will never change back.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars. Attention all cars. Cancellation broadcast 19. Mystery of the poison woman solved. That's all. Rosenquist.
This is Frederick Lindsley saying good night for the Rio Grande Oil Company.